In a country like ours, where women are revered as goddesses, a heinous crime was committed against a woman. A trainee doctor at R.G. Kar Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata, West Bengal, was raped and murdered in the conference room of the hospital. Another shocking aspect is that the evidence at the scene was destroyed, making it difficult to trace what happened, indicating there may be a dark history behind this inhumane incident. There are also suspicions that similar incidents have occurred in the past, and evidence supporting this is emerging. Key details are being gathered by intelligence agencies from hospital staff, medical students, and local reporters. When the central intelligence agencies arrived to investigate the atrocity, the atmosphere seemed manipulated, suggesting that this was not just public anger, but a deliberate effort to erase evidence. Many details have been covered up, and there are loopholes. The investigation has revealed that there is a conspiracy by some selfish individuals. This is not just an attempt to reveal the atrocity committed against a woman, but also the flaws in the system. First, it should be noted that out of respect for the victims of this incident, their real names are not being disclosed to maintain their privacy, just as the country did in the Nirbhaya case. It is painful that another incident similar to Nirbhaya has occurred. So far, no CCTV footage related to the incident has been released to the media. The only available information is the preliminary details revealed by the investigating police. The incident happened on Thursday, August 8, 2024, at around 11 p.m., when a person was seen walking towards the seminar hall. After half an hour, the same person was seen returning. Around 1:30 a.m. on Friday, August 9, 2024, Dr. Tilottama went to the seminar hall after having dinner with 4 other junior doctors. At around 2:30 a.m., the 4 junior doctors left the room. Then, at around 4 a.m., another person was seen walking towards the seminar hall where Dr. Tilottama was sleeping. The person was seen leaving the hall at 4:37 a.m. The corridor leading to the seminar hall had CCTV cameras, as did the entrance door of that floor, which monitored the patient ward corridor. It is noteworthy that there were only 2 CCTV cameras for such a large area. At 9 a.m. on Friday, August 9, 2024, a junior doctor went towards the seminar hall but hesitated to disturb Dr. Tilottama, who was sleeping inside, and returned. When the junior doctor went back to the room at 9:30 a.m., the scene was extremely tragic. The Kolkata police recorded all the timings and details. The lifeless body of the female doctor, who was sleeping in the seminar hall, was found covered with a blue sheet. Half of her clothes were on the ground nearby. Her hair clip was broken, and her glasses were lying close by. Her body was covered in blood from her face down to her feet. The doctors who saw the body said that while they are used to seeing dead bodies, the brutality of this incident was heartbreaking. They couldn't bear to see their fellow junior doctor in that state. R.G. Kar Medical College principal Sandeep Ghosh had his assistants call the deceased's parents, telling them that their daughter was unwell and to come to the hospital. When the parents tried to call back, no one answered the phone. 15 minutes later, they received another call informing them that their daughter had committed suicide. The parents were devastated. The night before, at 11:30 p.m., the parents had spoken to their daughter, who had told them she was going on rounds in the ward. The next morning, the hospital called and initially said she was unwell, and then 15 minutes later, they said she had committed suicide, which seems suspicious. This suggests that a plan was already in place to cover up the incident. How else could the principal publicly declare that the girl had committed suicide due to her negligence at night? The principal's statement revealed his lack of character, as he both covered up the injustice done to the doctor and blamed her for it. Anyone could understand the brutality of what happened by looking at the body. The hospital staff prevented the doctor's parents from seeing their daughter's body for 3 hours. "We were not shown our daughter even after 3 hours of waiting. We begged with folded hands, but they did not show us," said the grieving parents. Hearing this, anyone would question the principal's statement. The trainee Dr. Tilatama was in her second year of postgraduate studies, pursuing an MD after her MBBS. She had been assigned 36 hours of duties that day, and after completing them, she went to the seminar hall to rest. Another thing to note here is that although RG Carr Hospital is large, there are no separate restrooms or facilities for doctors and nurses to rest or attend to their personal needs. Doctors routinely rest in the seminar hall. After hearing the principal's statement that it was negligence on the part of the female doctor to be alone in the hospital at night, the hospital staff were outraged and expressed their anger, criticizing the principal's irresponsible behavior. The protests spread beyond Kolkata, with junior doctors across the country expressing their collective discontent. The hospital administration, responsible for ensuring the area where the incident occurred was sealed off, failed to do so. They should have ensured no one entered the area until the police arrived and preserved the evidence, but they did not. The administration, by trying to cover up such a grave incident involving one of their own staff, only adds to the suspicion that there is something more to this. The police have collected CCTV footage from the two cameras and marked the evidence in the room, including the female doctor's phone and laptop. A neckband with Bluetooth earphones was also found, which became a crucial piece of evidence. In the corridor's CCTV footage, junior doctors and staff members are visible. However, at around 4 a.m., the person seen entering the seminar hall was wearing a neckband with Bluetooth earphones. At 4:37 a.m., when the same person left the hall, the neckband was missing. The person was identified as Sanjay Rai by the police, not a member of the hospital's medical staff. Upon investigation, the police connected the Bluetooth earphones to the suspect's phone and confirmed it belonged to Sanjay Rai. Despite this, the principal had rashly declared it a suicide due to negligence. Sanjay Rai's history came to light, revealing his close ties with police officers and his access to the hospital without permissions. He was known to facilitate various services within the hospital, including securing beds in the wards, for which he would charge large sums of money. The police also discovered that he had a bad reputation in his neighborhood for pretending to be a policeman and exhibiting violent behavior. Despite being a civic servant working with the police, the public had little awareness of his actual role and assumed him to be a police officer. He used this to his advantage, extorting lakhs of rupees by promising to help with various tasks. He even had a Kolkata police sticker on his bike, indicating the extent to which he operated. It was also revealed that he had been married 4 times, with his first 3 wives leaving him due to his abusive behavior, and his 4th wife dying of cancer last year, according to neighbors. It was revealed in the investigation that Sanjay Rai was addicted to pornography and alcohol. He was in Salwa village near Kharagpur from August 5th to August 8th, and it was discovered that he returned to Kolkata on August 8th. On the same night, he admitted to the police that he had consumed alcohol with his fellow civic volunteer and had gone to a red light area. But why did he come to RG Carr Hospital? He came to RG Carr Hospital at 11 p.m. to see a patient he had admitted, left the hospital, wandered around, drank alcohol again, and then returned to the hospital. He behaved in a heinous manner towards the female doctor in the seminar hall, murdered her, and then went back to sleep in the police barracks in the Salt Lake area, which he admitted to. Here, we need to note that he was a civic volunteer appointed to assist the police, not a police staff member. Such a background is crucial. It will come out eventually, right? We need to know. Appointing a person with a questionable personal life as an assistant to the police was inappropriate. It doesn't seem acceptable that he had the privilege to enter the police barracks and sleep there without any authority. It was also wrong for the hospital administration to treat him so lightly. The police found that his phone contained images and videos meant to arouse sexual desire, which further indicated his criminal nature, leading to his arrest. You might also wonder, was he the only criminal? Within 24 hours of his arrest, the police declared it a success, but there is still more to uncover in this case. New roles and angles are emerging, and it's doubtful whether the police or the hospital administration has answers to these. With Sanjay Rai's arrest, severe protests are now erupting in Bengal. A post-mortem was conducted on the female doctor's body, and the autopsy report noted bleeding from the eyes, mouth, and private parts. Deep wounds were found on her throat, face, nails, left leg, abdomen, ankle, right hand's ring finger, and lips. As soon as the autopsy reports were released, doctors across the country took to the streets demanding justice. Why are we focusing on Sanjay Rai? A drunken, unruly person raped and murdered a young female doctor, but doesn't it seem like there could be others involved? It's not just our thinking. When the police arrested him and declared him the perpetrator of this heinous crime, he showed no fear, no anxiety, no remorse. There was no hesitation in his walk, no shame for his heinous act. Another point is that there was blood all over the female doctor's body, indicating she fought fiercely. In such a struggle, the attacker would also have sustained some injuries. But it's surprising that Sanjay Rai had no injuries on his body. Another thing, as soon as the cause of the female doctor's death was revealed, a vile drama was staged. The junior doctors who were protesting started receiving threats. Initially, RG Kar Medical College principal Sandeep Ghosh blamed the female doctor, stating it was her fault and that she committed suicide because of mental illness. However, as soon as the cause of death was revealed, he resigned from his job, stating on social media that his honor was being tarnished and that the deceased was like a daughter to him. He tried to portray himself as a gentleman, but there was nothing but theatrics in this. Why? Because the very next day he was appointed as principal of the National Medical College. Should we see this as a promotion for an irresponsible person, a blatant insult to the deceased's character, or as a means to protect the dignity of the deceased? The junior doctors are asking these questions. Akhtar Ali, former deputy superintendent of RG Kar Medical College, spoke to the media, describing Principal Sandeep Ghosh as a corrupt person with no values, like a mafia don in the medical field. He was a very corrupt man. In RG Kar Medical College, students were failed, and money was taken for hostel allotment and staff selection. In short, you could say there was a mafia rule. I have never seen such a dirty person in my entire career, said Akhtar Ali. It seems Sandeep Ghosh has connections with high-profile politicians, which may have influenced the destruction of evidence. In this sense, Sanjay Rai might have just been a pawn, used to protect the bigger sharks. The others involved could be people with political connections or influential recommendations. Now you must wonder, who are these big sharks? Recall the case from the beginning. When Sanjay Rai was arrested, he admitted to the crime without any hesitation and even said, "You can hang me if you want." But despite his admission, there was no sign of fear, anxiety, or remorse on his face. It's clear that the police should have suspected him when there wasn't even a scratch on his body, after such a brutal struggle with the female doctor. Instead, the police arrested him alone and declared him the sole perpetrator. But the real question is whether the police, hospital administration, and political leaders are working together to protect some big fish, using Sanjay Rai as a scapegoat. This suspicion arises because the High Court has handed over the case to the CBI. But by the time the CBI stepped in, all the evidence at the hospital had already been destroyed. The third-floor restrooms were renovated under the pretext of repairs, clearing everything out. They say it was the enraged public who destroyed the surroundings of the RG Kar Hospital, including the seminar hall area, but who knows whether they were the common people or thugs in disguise. Why are we asking these questions? Think about it yourself, and you'll understand. If it was the common people, they would stand in support of the protesting doctors, but they wouldn't destroy evidence, right? Think about it. The entire case was initially handed over to IPS officer Vineet Kumar Goyal, who was accused of negligence and collusion in handling the 2013 Kamduni rape case. Now, similar allegations are surfacing in this case. Let's also consider the situation at RG Kar Hospital. There have been allegations for many years that it is a hub for a sex racket. Principal Dr. Sandeep Ghosh is said to be the mastermind behind this. There were reports in 1999, 2001, 2003, 2006, 2012, and 2015 that he was the mastermind behind recording videos of inhumane incidents in the hospital, which led to the suicides and murders of medical students. All these were reported to the outside world as student suicides. When suitable people were not found for antisocial activities, the hospital allegedly provided deceased bodies for those who came to satisfy their physical desires. It's disgusting, isn't it? But when faced directly, the truth cannot be hidden even after 18 years. In August 2001, a young female trainee doctor was found dead in her residence. Before that, she had stood up against those inhumane incidents. But in the records, the police wrote it off as suicide. Now, 13 years later, many believe that there is a similar cause behind the recent incident. In the last 15 years, the medical students who supposedly committed suicide at RG Carr have not yet received justice. The outside world didn't even know it was an injustice. If there is such a dark game behind what is considered a temple of life, then should we just believe that all this happened because of a lack of evidence? Let's hope that the politicians who shout for political gain do not remain silent when it comes to a woman, a doctor, a daughter, an Indian girl. Let's hope that we do not have to pay tribute to another woman in such a situation again.